What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Minecraft. Today, we're starting out with something kind of funny. I saw this just as I was about to start recording it. I wanted to show you. These two pieces of rotten flesh, they were floating here in the water, up here at the surface, and I was so confused. I was like, how on earth did a zombie die? Zombies don't drown? And so I swam down here into this ravine, and look what's down here. I don't know how well you guys can see it. There's an iron golem living down here at the bottom of this flooded ravine, and apparently probably fighting drowned and different things. And that is hilarious to me. So I thought I'd share. But getting into the actual episode proper, I want to start off today by saying thank you so much to all of you. I started this channel about 2 months ago, and at the time it was just kind of for fun for myself to practice some video editing and whatnot. I had no idea that it would be this well received, and I've been absolutely blown away by how many people are watching my videos and how many people have subscribed. So I just want to say a wholehearted thank you to each and every one of you for supporting me and being part of this journey. I'm really glad to hear that you guys are enjoying these videos, and hopefully we can keep having a lot of fun together for a while to come. And now I want to kind of show you guys something really cool. I've made it very clear that my goal with the village is to focus on how it feels to walk around inside of it, not necessarily how it looks from a distance. So this here is kind of the vanilla village, how it feels to walk through. Some close buildings, some open areas. That wall is our own addition. But yeah, it feels nice. It feels very classic Minecraft. But now, let me show you the area by the greenhouse. This is the area that we have been working on. Oh man, I love this area. I put in a path, I added more trees, more water. It is very, very alive, very overgrown. I went ahead and put in the wall most of the way around. I just haven't done the tops of the towers. And I even hid all of the light sources. So excepting some torches on the builds themselves, there are no visible torches anywhere, and the place is still very well lit, and I love it. I love walking around in here, looking up at the tall trees, and then because of the vines, you can actually climb up the tall trees pretty easily too, which is fun. But all in all, I am very happy with how this area is turning out, and I'm excited to spread this feeling throughout the rest of our village. And speaking of that, I've realized I've always just kind of referred to this as the village, our village, my village. I think this village deserves a name. And so, as always, I would like to throw that to you guys. Down in the comments section, give me a name for this village. And if you see another name in the comments section that you like, go ahead and like it. And based on what we get in the comments, we'll name this wonderful place. The final update I'll give you guys is that the blacksmith is working very much as intended. And honestly, it's an excellent source of XP. I think I might have gotten more XP from this than I've gotten at my spider farm. But of course, the most important thing we're getting from them are the emeralds, and we have been getting quite a lot. And this isn't even all the emeralds I got from them, because a wandering trader came by and I actually bought some nautilus shells off of him. Nautilus shells are the one purchase that I will always make from a wandering trader if I have the emeralds for it, because it can be quite painful to go out and get your own nautilus shells, at least in my opinion. So we've got a ton of emeralds, and now it's time to move on to the next project. Now, usually between episodes, I'll gather resources for projects if I know I need to, and I did a little bit of that, but I also didn't gather everything, and so you guys get to come with me today. We need to go gather some resources. And the first thing we're going to go gather is stone. And the reason I'm grabbing a piece of stone is because today I would like to test out bringing one of my allays with me to help me gather stone. So I'm going to call you Archibald. Have that and follow me. Archibald and I are going to go down into the mines, and we're going to see how much stone we can gather. So theoretically, if I just do something like this and leave all the stone just lying around, Archibald here is going to fly in. There you go, there you go, there you go. Okay, I was about to say he wasn't doing it quite as fast as I'd maybe think, but that was good, that was good. I've really never used allays before, and so this episode, we're going to make an effort to bring them along, use them, see how it helps, because I don't know, I'm so in the habit of just picking up blocks and sometimes climbing up things or jumping down things to grab some blocks that have fallen, and I've completely forgotten that there are little adorable creatures that can help me with that, so we're going to let them help me with that and see how it goes. I have to say, this is actually kind of fun, being able to just break blocks without worrying about picking them up and knowing that they're all going to make it into my inventory. And I bet that this would be even more fun and enjoyable if I had a beacon with haste 2, where I can just blitz through these blocks, insta-mining everything, and then having an allay or a group of allays picking up the items and bringing them to me. So I've been in need of stone for a little while now, and I kept putting off mining it. But in like just a little over 5 minutes, I got almost 8 stacks. So now I feel a little silly for putting it off for so long. But that should hopefully be enough for now. So let's head back up to the surface. Now the next thing we're going to gather, going to take a good amount of dirt and also some glass bottles. We're going to go ahead and grab our other allay as well. His name's Antonio, but he goes by Tony. There you go, Tony. He is going to be our mud collector. So we've gotten a bit of mud in this world, but we haven't yet done anything with it. And today that's going to change. Now, this isn't going to be the perfect mud making setup, and we'll definitely need to do something better in the future. But for now, something simple like this will work. What would be nice is if I could figure out an orientation where I don't really have to turn much. I just need to look up and down. Yeah, this works nicely. And then Tony should grab and throw me the mud blocks. Perfect. Thank you, Tony. I'm beginning to find that this works best with just one bottle like that, instead of trying to do multiple fills. Just a little bob of my head, and I can get all the dirt made. I can get all the dirt made into mud. Oh wait, I'm a fool. I was supposed to have planted a bunch of trees so that they could be growing while I was mining stone and getting mud. But if I don't plant the trees, they can't grow. And just like that, I've got 3 stacks of mud. Now to go along with that mud, I actually also need wheat. And I don't remember the exact proportions, but if we have mud and wheat, oh, it's 1-to-1. Perfect. We can make packed mud, which in my opinion is just a wonderful looking block. Oh, and it's got such an interesting sound too. Cool, so now we've got packed mud. We'll put that away for a moment. In the meantime, Tony, give me that. Take a jungle log. Archibald, you take a mangrove log. We've got some tree chopping to do. You know, maybe instead of giving them the blocks of wood, it could be smart to give them the saplings, because that way I don't have to be, paying attention and watching when the trees are decaying. I can just go ahead and keep chopping down other trees, and then as trees decay and saplings drop, Archibald and Tony could grab the saplings and bring them over to me. That actually sounds really nice. As a matter of fact, we'll keep Tony on wood duty, but Archie... Oh, come down here. Take this. He brought me a sapling. Oh, that's actually awesome. Wow. I don't know why I've never used allays before. This is already shaping up to be a pretty nice system. You know what? Let's give it a try. Tony, come here. You are going to pick up the sticks that are falling. Basically, I'll take care of the trees. You guys take care of the things that drop when the trees decay. The leaves. When the leaves decay. Oh, whoops. I was trying to go to bed and I accidentally stole Archibald's jungle sapling. Archie, come back! No! Please. Oh, thank you. Oh, goodness. Oh, that was stressful. We almost lost Archie. Alright, so when working with allays, it is dangerous to spam right-click, even for something like getting in bed. Because if they fly in front of you, you take away what they're holding, and they leave. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Tony! Are you okay? That mangrove tree just tried to kill Tony. This is dangerous. Man, that really made me panic. That's not good. Luckily, if I remember right, allays have some sort of natural health regeneration, so Tony should be fine, but goodness, that's dangerous. I was a little bit nervous, so I just hopped on Minecraft.wiki to look it up, and yes, allay have a natural health regeneration of 2 health per second, so Tony should be fine. But all in all, I'd give bringing allays to help you cut down trees a 9 out of 10. It loses 1 point because of the massive heart attack I had. Trees spontaneously growing and trying to kill people and mobs is a very funny part of Minecraft. Alright, so with all that resource gathering, we've got a decent amount of jungle, got plenty of mangrove, and we've got stone and mud as you saw. And so we are ready to head over to the village and start working on our next project. And for today's project, we will not be riding Nyx, so we'll put her back in her stall to enjoy her nice hay bale, and we are going to hop on Trolley. We're gonna load Trolley up with some supplies, and with Archibald and Tony in tow, we're off. So today's project is a very special project for a few reasons, but the first reason is that today is the first day that we're going to work in the Vanilla Village and turn part of it into something new. And we're actually going to start with these buildings over here on this little, I guess it's an island because it's only connected by a wooden bridge. So yeah, this island, we are going to take these 2 buildings here and kind of combine them and add on to them to build a very special building. But first, I'm going to steal one of these fences so I can hitch Trolley up. Alright, new build, new build. Where are we going to start? My goal for this build is to kind of be true to the shape of these 2 buildings while also connecting them up, but I think I am going to switch out the block palettes considerably. So I'm going to grab some mangrove, and then here in the stone cutter, I'm going to make some stone bricks, and we're also going to make some mud bricks. I think I can basically just pull out all of the oak logs and replace them with mangrove logs. So I think Archie, we're going to put you on oak log duty, and Tony, you're on cobblestone duty. So they'll pick up the blocks as I'm tearing down the building. And for this part of said building being torn down, I'm going to replace the base of it with stone bricks, and then right above the stone bricks, we'll put the mud bricks. Oh man. That's an interesting look already. It is a little bit cluttered, but I kind of like it. But we're gonna keep going on with changing out the palette and seeing how it looks. Alright, so there's our first set of changes to the building. I was gonna do something different, but this little band of cobblestone, at the moment, I'm kind of liking it. And so I think for now I might leave it. We might change that later as we continue to evolve the build. It may fall out of place, but I'm okay with this kind of cluttered texture on this wall. I think that works for the vibe we're going for the village, because it's gonna end up pretty overgrown and cluttered when we're done. But for now, it's time to start using some mangrove planks and also fences. We're gonna replace all the fences here with red fences. And with that done, I think we'll take anywhere that has oak planks, pull those out, and replace them with mangrove. Oh, that's gonna look cool. Alright, now that we've got the red in on the upper part of the building, I'm already wanting to pull the cobblestone out. So I think what I want to try and do is actually use mangrove stairs. And that gives a little indent into the wall. Yeah, I think I like it. A little bit of depth. Now, this is looking pretty good so far. But I have to be honest, I don't really like the way the oak wood and the mangrove wood look together. Maybe in a different context I'd like it and I'd make it work, but right now that's not really a color combination I'm liking. So I think we're gonna switch the oak out on the roof for a wood type that matches the brick tone pretty well. And I think it'll make the whole thing be a little more cohesive. And that is, of course, the jungle wood we were gathering. So if I go ahead and get on the roof and replace this oak log at the top with a stripped jungle log, and I should be able to start pulling out the oak stairs and replacing them with jungle stairs. Alright, with half of the roof done, this is what we've got. I think that color works much better in this build than that color. And part of it is because the jungle wood and the mud bricks, they just go so well together. I really like it. One of the tricky things about this that I hadn't considered is that since I'm literally like swapping out every block, I'm getting as many blocks as I'm putting into the build, which is pretty cool. I do like that. But it does mean my inventory management is a little different than it usually is. There it is, our fully swapped out first building. I really like the way this is turning out. It's very reminiscent of the original village feel, but a new, really good looking block palette, I think. And we're not even done yet. We've got more work to do yet. But before anything else, I would like to replace the oak doors with jungle doors. Get the oak color out of this build completely. And with that build all nice and taken care of, let's do the same thing to this one. Now, one thing I hadn't really thought about with these block swap builds that now I'm a little bit excited for is the fact that I don't have to really think about shape all that much. Shape is a super important part of a Minecraft build, but because I'm basing this primarily on just swapping out blocks, I've already got a nice shape to work with. And we will be adding to it a little bit, but it's nice to have such a, I don't know, such a good starting point to just roll with. Now, despite this building being shorter than this building in total, it has some wall surfaces that are taller than we got on the other building. So I want to try something a little bit different using the stairs, which is having some stairs turned up like that, but then having another row of stairs down like this. And it gives it a cool indent, but now the window doesn't connect. Well, we're going to be doing something to like merge this wall into this wall anyway, so I think we're fine to just take the glass out. Alright, just a bit of building later, and we have successfully swapped out the pallets of both of these base buildings. Now, I have not done any work on either of their interiors, and that's because I'll do the whole interior once we have one complete building. So what I want to figure out now is how I want to merge these two buildings into each other, which is going to be a bit tricky because this one has a clear center, but then this one is kind of done with an even number, and so the center would be between these two blocks. But I think we'll just go ahead and roll with this being the center and see what we can do. So easily enough, we can just extend our stone brick base like that, and we do the same thing with the mud bricks. If I just go ahead and do our upside down mangrove staircase part of the wall, that brings the wall flush with that part of the roof. And what if I just continued that roof line like that? Let's see it in the front. Now this is working. So if I continue that roof line like that, we get this little indented roof line for the tunnel right here, and I'd say it looks fine from this angle. Here on the back side, it merges perfectly into this roof line, which looks pretty good. The only place it looks a bit weird is from here on top of the building, but when am I ever going to be looking at this roof line from here on top of the building? So I think I'm going to call that good. This is our complete building, and all we're going to have to do is pull out these walls and connect these parts up. But before we do that, there's actually one last thing I want to do, and that is that I would like to add a third piece to this building on the other side of the path that's going to connect in kind of an archway. So let's start with the little archway. that, we've got a simple little stone arch. We'll go ahead and fill the ceiling of the arch in with some slabs. It's nothing too fancy, but I like it. And we're gonna use some greenery to help cap it off and make it feel really good. But now it's time to put a special little build on this side of the arch. This build is gonna start with packed mud bricks, and using these, we're actually gonna make a complete square. Now here at the stone walls, we'll bring those bricks up even higher. Then in all the other corners, we're just gonna use mud brick walls. Now for the entryway, I think we're gonna go for stripped jungle wood like that. And then we're gonna cap it off with some mangrove. And we end up with a nice roof like this, which looks like this from down below. I went ahead and put in some stripped logs in a few little spots on the roof just to give it a little bit of weather. And the last thing we're gonna do with this is fill in the rest of the walls with glass panes. And we end up with a nice little alcove. I'm not even sure what you would call this. Although, in the context of our build, probably the best term for it would be a book nook. Because I don't think I even said it yet, but what we are making is a library. This is going to be the village library, where we're going to have our librarian villagers that sell us different enchanted books. And the idea here would be, you know, if you were a patron here at the library, you could grab a book and just come into this little area and sit down and read. And I think that would just be absolutely so cozy and so nice. And we're going to do a few things on the inside to make it into a lovely little book reading corner. And speaking of working on the inside of that, it is time to start doing some interior work. We'll start by pulling out the walls we need to pull out to connect our two building halves. Now, I think I'm actually going to invert this staircase. We'll make it out of jungle instead. Now, using some of the cobblestone we got, let's go ahead and lay down a cobblestone floor in this part of the building. And on this other half of the building, I think we're going to tear up all of the oak floor and replace it with birch. And I think I like it. I think we just need to do some decorating on the inside, and then we'll be ready to bring in the librarians. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I am very much liking how this is looking. Now, there's a bit more interior decorating to do, both in here and in the book nook, but I think I'm ready to get at least one librarian in here permanently, which we have the one guy who keeps coming back to this lectern, so we'll work with him. The next question is about villager zoning. You'll notice that I have the blacksmithing area, and I made sure that the blacksmiths will always stay in that area. I like that just for the sake of organization, and I want to figure out how I want to organize and zone this area. I could theoretically just put a little blockade here and then give this whole chunk of the island to the librarians, but that's pretty big, and then if I need to find a specific librarian, it's going to take a little bit of wandering around to try and find them, so I think I do want to kind of confine them to this building specifically. I think maybe if I put up little walls here and here, I can give a nice zoned connection to the book nook, and then we just need to block off those doors with gates, and the librarians will be able to wander as much as they want within this building. Oh, and it looks like we've got a cow library. We've got a library cow in here too. He can stay for now. I may get him out later. So with the library properly zoned and our wonderful librarian in here, it is time to begin the laborious process of getting the perfect trade. So this process of re-rolling a librarian's trades over and over can sometimes be a bit tedious, but just as I started to fear that it was going to take a long time, it happened. There it is. Mending for 20 emeralds. Not the best price I've ever seen, but I am willing to take it. Thank you, sir. You are officially the mending villager. And you know what, guys? I know I already asked you to name the village, but let's go ahead and pick a name for this guy too. Our special librarian who is going to give us one of the most wonderful enchantments. What should we call him? Thank you, good sir, for your very wonderful trade. Now, I'm not going to put mending on everything just yet, but there are quite a few things that I think are ready for it. Like my chest plate, there's literally nothing else I could put on my chest plate, so we're going to go ahead and finish that off. The leggings, all I would add is Swift Sneak. We'll do that when we get it. For my tools, a lot of these, all I would really want is to up them from Efficiency 4 to Efficiency 5, which we'll be able to do at some point. And then I could maybe look at Fortune 3 and Silk Touch on the axe and shovel, but I don't think putting mending on them now is going to interfere with that at all. And one thing I always like to do with my pickaxes is name them so that I can tell them apart just by their names. So my one that has Fortune, its name has to start with an F. I think I'll call this one Fortuna for 2 reasons. 1, that's Warframe reference, and 2, the song O Fortuna by Andre Rieu is an incredible piece of music, and I love listening to it. And, you know, the pickaxe has Fortune 3 on it, so it works. And I think the Silk Touch pickaxe we'll call Sil, because Sil is the first syllable in Silk Touch. And there's a character in a book I like called The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson named Sil. So, again, a fun little reference for myself. For the shovel and the axe, they don't necessarily need names to differentiate themselves, and I'm probably going to be doing work on them later to add Fortune and Silk Touch or whatever, so I'll have another chance to name them then, so I'm not going to worry about it now. And our last mending book, I'm going to store in this chest right next to Unbreaking 3. Those books are being saved for a special occasion. Go ahead and leave a guess in the comments section for what you think I'm going to do with a Mending and an Unbreaking 3 book at some unknown point in the future. So that's going to be all for this episode, guys. We've built a beautiful library, and we now have a powerful new enchantment. And I'm so excited for how that's going to change our world. Thank you so much for being here today. I always appreciate the support. If you enjoyed, do hit the like button, and if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. And if you'd like to see a different game, go ahead and check out the series I'm doing on Subnautica. It's a super fun game, and I'd love for you guys to be able to enjoy that game too. Thanks for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a great day!